Good morning, YouTube. There's a storm brewing when it comes to car sales. We don't really have much reporting yet as far as like a big doom and gloom when it comes to the US,
Right.
but they expect it to be a dramatic decline here in the US when it comes to sales when the reporting does finally come out. But the EU, the European Union, has released their figures, and it is a 3-year low in August.
Okay.
And overall, sales have gone down 18.3%, which is massive.
Right. That's a
Massive
lot.
drop in sales. But the crazy part is fully electric cars from August 2023 compared to August of 2024, down 43.9%.
That's unheard of. That's insane.
It's halved, yes.
That's insane.
Germany and France had 68.8% drop and 33.1% drop.
Which is all this is saying is that people aren't enjoying their EV experience, and this EV wave might be a trend. I don't know.
Well, I think the infrastructure is not there yet, and that's the big problem in Europe and what we're facing in the US. People are buying them and like, this is a big pain in the butt.
Right.
And I don't want to deal with this.
Right.
And with Europe especially, where we've seen they don't have garages like us. They don't have sprawling suburbia like we do in these older cities and things, and everybody's street parked. So you have to go charge your car and sit and wait. And it's a big pain in the butt.
It is.
It's not like the Lyric where we can go and just plug it in our garage and not have to think about it with the
Right.
2023 Lyric. But that's changed recently to where Cadillac owners now have access to Tesla's charging infrastructure.
Okay. They announced that.
You have to buy an adapter,
Right.
and it'll work. It'll plug in. It'll go. You have a Tesla account.
That's cool.
But now, if you're a Tesla owner, because Elon has opened up his supercharger network to everyone,
Right.
you're going to get clogged up with all kinds of hoopties sitting in your car chargers, making you mad.
That's true. Yeah.
So not a big issue for us in Kansas since we just charge at home. We don't really take it on road trips. We have the big van, but
For about an hour from the house, it's good. You feel comfortable. There's no range anxiety. But any more than that, and it makes you feel a little uncomfortable, especially if it's cold outside, because it drains the battery a little faster.
Right. So the industry said that the EU needs institutions to come forward with urgent relief measures before CO2 targets for cars and vans come into effect in 2025. So basically, like, they're mandating that they build these EVs and the percentage of their cars be EVs sales, but they're so much more expensive. The government's going to have to subsidize this. They're going to have to give rebates and basically incentives for consumers to actually buy them, to deal with it.
I kind of feel like then just falls back on the taxpayer having to pay more taxes eventually,
but that's not the way that people look at it, because the government, where does the government get their money from? People don't think about that. But exactly.
I feel like there's something about to implode with this EV trend that isn't going to be working for everyone.
Right.
It's getting a little scary because you're seeing the EV lots completely full of backup supply. They're just hard to get rid of them.
Yeah, it's interesting when you see in Europe also their market share, and you can see if they've gone up or down. So like Volkswagen, it stayed the same, but then Stellantis, but you can see it's a slight drop. They've lost about a percentage in market share overall in Europe. Like BMW's gone up, but most of them have sort of gone down, and they're saying that has to do a lot with the influx of Chinese cars, Chinese electric cars.
Okay.
And so now the EU is sort of debating whether or not to impose the tariffs, the tax on the cars coming from China, like the U.S. has, 100% when it comes to the U.S. 100%. Canada has matched it now with 100%. So they're about to vote, and I think it's going to be not quite as much, like a 30% tariff on Chinese cars.
Right.
In the European Union. And since Britain has broken off from the EU, they have to do all this separate as far as tariffs and things. And in Britain, they're not really thinking about it at all. And they're thinking it's going to be like this massive invasion of cheap Chinese cars that's just going to decimate the market share in the industry there if they don't do anything. But right now, the UK just seems to be okay with it.
Are you familiar with the Chinese EV fleets? Do you know about them? Are they good? Are they Anything about
No,
the
I mean,
range good?
I watched the video on Donut Media where they pretended to because it was the paid
It was
review
so bad that it
of
was
it.
good to watch.
Right, where they're getting paid to be enthusiastic
Right.
about, like, look at this feature, look at this, and you're
Yeah.
just like, this looks like an enormous piece of junk.
Right.
It looks like a generic drawing for like a commercial or something like that, where the car can't be brand. It's very weird.
Yeah.
But no, I do not keep up on Chinese EVs. Unfortunately, I guess I probably should, but sort of becoming a dinosaur in that sense when it comes to all the new stuff and all the electric stuff. I don't know.
You're familiar with the Cybertruck and plenty of EV cars, but
Right.
that's just a whole new world, what they're doing in China.
I guess we could do a little research ourselves and
Right.
see what China's top 10 EV models are. I guess this is a few years old, and oh my. So the top one is you give it a shot.
I am actually dyslexic, and so there's no way I'm going to try to pronounce that.
The Wuling, the Wuling, and then the Hongguang Mini EV is at the very top of sales. I've never heard of Wuling as far as a brand of cars, but I may get to know the Wuling here in the future. BYD is the next best-selling one, which I've heard of BYD. Looks very generic to me. And then the Tesla Model Y, which they build in China. So then below, everything else, it looks like BYD Quinn, BYD Han, BYD Dolphin, BYD Yuan Plus. Are those different cars? They look exactly the same.
Yeah, they're different.
I guess the Dolphin's a little different. It looks kind of like the Hyundais with the Ioniq kind of thing.
Right.
But they all look generic Volvo, Tesla-esque,
Right. Yeah. No, they all look very similar.
Yeah, the Tesla Model 3's on there, the BYD Tang. These are interesting names, the BYD Tang, and then the GAC Ion Y, which is... What the fuck is that? Actually, they're all hideous. The Model 3 is not anything exceptional, but none of them evoke any kind of emotion or style or any of that to me. So let's see. What does the BYD interior look like? BYD Song interior. Well, that looks pretty nice. So it's fancy.
Right. I mean, pretty standard look for an EV that's in there. You got all the screens going on.
But they got a little cutout in the seats, like they're trying to be sporty there. The big screen, like Mercedes. It's not as minimalist, say, as a Tesla. Ooh, it has mood lighting as well.
Ooh, I wonder if there's massage seats in it.
Well, okay, that's interesting. What about Wuling EV?
So this is the number one selling
This is
car
the number
in China.
one. And look, the visibility is awesome. It kind of reminds you of like an old Nissan Quest or something. That steering wheel's kind of cool, the two-spoke there.
Yeah, but it does look kind of basic economy style. It's not very overdone. It's not very luxurious looking.
It's not very big either. Look at the size of that back seat in comparison to the rest of the car.
Right.
So it's a little bitty thing, but the interiors, the exterior is a big letdown for me when it comes to styling, but the interiors, they don't look that bad.
What is the price? Does it...
The Mini EV cost around $5,000 new.
Yes! That's great. That's why it's the best-selling car over there. That's fantastic. Are you crazy?
It would cost more to... This is from Wired.com, where it says, it would cost more to spec the cigar humidor glove box option on a Rolls Royce or add Apple CarPlay to a Ferrari than buy this entire car.
That's great. I mean, it looks like a Mini. It does look like a tiny half a car right there. Look at those
like
wheels.
12 or 13-inch wheels.
It's crazy.
What a world.
It's like Jake's i3. It's a tiny car. $5,000.
It's perfect for Europe. So even with all the small streets and everything else, because all the small cars there. So
Does it say the range?
Not very much. No. So 120 kilometers, 170, or 280 with the big one. So like 110 to 170 miles. But that's enough for a city car.
Right.
And even if it's a 100% tariff and it's a $5,000 car, that's $10,000.
Yeah,
that
but
still completely annihilates the competition by several factors. Like even the cheapest US EV, that would just completely annihilate it at 100%.
Right.
So,
but in China, they're not really paying their employees well to be building these cars. That's why they're able to price them so low, which obviously you don't want to support something like that, but $5,000 is a crazy low
Well,
price for a car.
The laptops from China, all the equipment probably running this
Everything
YouTube
we
channel is
have.
built in China. The
Everything
shelves
we
we
have.
got from Amazon built in China. The TVs are built in China. We don't really think about that. So
Yeah, you're right.
we're in trouble, aren't we? Huh? Yeah. Wait. Oh, it's Q. I caught a Q. This is a rare capture of the feral puppy cat. All right. Yes.
These cats were not made in China.
No, they were made in Kansas, and yeah, here you go. Thank you so much for watching. Hi. I never see you. You just run off the moment you look at me. Look, okay. Can I go up here? Okay.
I like break his leg and he jumps off.
That'll be fine.
He's so cute. Cutie.
Okay.
Oh. Neelix, it's been a while since Neelix made an appearance. Bye, Q.